Buongiorno Lugano, here we are for a special episode of A Block with Mir. I'm particularly emotional today because it's the first time that I'm having an interview with a startupper, and this guy, Walter Maffione, or Walter Maffione, is a very lucky guy who has won the Cypher Tank, right?
Yeah.
He was the
We did
first
it.
one after like 159 applicants. That's a big deal, guys. So we are together. We're going to spend one block, on average 10 minutes, who knows exactly. And I'm going to ask you some question. And I'm going to start with the first one,
Yeah.
which is about the Kaleidoswap team. Is a very good name, but it's very difficult to pronounce sometimes. So there is you, but other guys. So how you met each other, how you found the right alchemy and chemistry to work together. What is the story of Kaleidoswap?
Yeah, sure. So thank you very much for this interview, and this place is amazing to talk here. So Kaleidoswap, born a few years ago, I would say 2 years ago, from a need by, let's say, Tether, we can say, because Tether is working a lot on RGB. They want to issue Tether on top of Bitcoin. And a DEX is something needed to swap Bitcoin to Tether. So there was this need. And my co-founder, Gabriele, was there with Federico Tenga, that is the guy working directly in the RGB team inside the Bitfinex and Tether. And he was there. He already has a company on, let's say, a market maker company for financial application on top of Bitcoin and crypto in general. And he was there looking for someone that can apply and resolve this problem of having a DEX on RGB. So he was looking for someone that can work on these protocols and basically find me. So I was there at that time looking for a Bitcoin job, trying to find my Bitcoin way and apply my knowledge on IT and computer science on Bitcoin. So I was able to work on this project. I was, let's say, trying to solve and trying to bring an application that can provide users a way to make atomic swaps on Bitcoin using RGB protocol. And then, let's say, I started looking for someone that could help me on this journey. So I firstly found two guys. And the way I found them was really cool because thanks to BitPolito, that is a Bitcoin student team in the Polytechnic of Turin, is a university in Turin, we organized an hackathon there. And the two guys that won the hackathon then was hired by me. So I was the judge there. So I was able to judge the different projects. And the winning project was really cool. It was basically a way to let developers earn money by making pull requests. And so the companies that are managing the open source project can pay the developers by making pull requests. And if they get accepted, immediately they can get paid in Bitcoin in an automatic way. So the project was really cool. I was really impressed by them. So I asked them if they want to join the project, and they did it. So I'm really happy about the team. They are making a good job. So yeah, it's
Of course, the results are here. I love two things about this. The fact that you started from a need. And usually we see startup fading because they have a great team and they are looking for an idea. While on the opposite, maybe this is one of the reasons why you had success, is the fact that you started from the problem, from a need, and then you build from there. Also, of course, I like the idea that it started from a pitch competition. So you were the judge and you were the one judging.
Yeah.
So it's just like an inception in a way. Cypher Tank, you are the judges, but you were the first judge. So it's so cool. This
I didn't think about this, but yeah, it's similar.
Yeah, it's similar because I mean, you really like the idea, the guys, so you selected them
Yeah.
in a way. So this way of selecting is very powerful, actually. So you are not looking in the market, but you're looking between the guys already doing that job. So I'm very happy because I found some secret of the success of Kaleidoswap. You also won the hackathon, right, in Lugano. So I told him I don't want to see him again in any pitch contest, hackathon ever, because he's he wins everything. But how was that experience? You presented a different product there, right?
Yeah, exactly. We decided to move a bit from only having a DEX on RGB to have a DEX on different Bitcoin layers, because we don't want to bound on a single protocol, because we don't know if RGB will succeed or not. I mean, it's still a long time when Giacomo made, let's say, the protocol together with Peter Todd and I think Kazat as well.
Yes, correct.
So yeah, it was a while. That now is ready for mainnet. I mean, it was released last in 2025. Yes, in July. Still, the Lightning implementation is still not yet ready at this moment, but we will soon see it. So we don't know if that will become the financial layer of Bitcoin, because I mean everything will come back to Bitcoin. So the financial system will be on top of Bitcoin. We should find the right protocol to have it. I mean, right now there is a competition of different layer twos. So there is Arcade, for example, Spark, RGB, Taproot Assets, Liquid. So there are a lot of protocols, and still we don't know which one will be the winner, if there will be a winner. So we want to let's say, make a protocol that can be interoperable using the Lightning Network, because the main common thing that all these layer 2 protocols have is the Lightning Network. So they all speak Lightning. And so thanks to Lightning, you can achieve interoperability between each protocol. And so we want to, let's say, use this approach and create a protocol to let people swap assets from a layer to another. So we don't want only to bound to RGB, but we are open to, let's say, different layer 2s. So yeah, basically the experience was amazing. I mean, was great to talk with so amazing and big players in the space. So I had the chance to talk directly with Paolo Arduino. So it's not something. I mean, even if you are one of the biggest player there, I mean, he's a guy that have a lot of. I mean, zero time. So it was great to talk with him. Also, other judges, of course, were amazing. So
Yeah, they were
great
very
experience.
insightful, and I think they really appreciate the project. So you
Yeah,
got
it seems
great
like
feedbacks, good and bad, also to improve everything.
yeah, for sure.
So I was thinking, you previously were a judge and you won the Cypher Tank. But if you had to choose one of the other project and finalists at Cypher Tank, which one would you pick? Which one was your favorite other project, except for Kaleidoswap, of course?
So I think Blix for sure, because I mean it's a mobile application using Lightning, and the user experience is amazing because you can immediately receive funds without needing for inbound liquidity or Lightning channels. So it's using the best of the protocols nowadays on Bitcoin to provide a good user experience for everyone. So it's a, let's say, an app that you can download, immediately receive, immediately send Bitcoins to others with low fees, fast payments. So yeah, I think that is a great product, and is one of the best Bitcoin apps now, I think, in the space. So really, I think that will be my choice from the.
Kaleido, Kaleido Blitz, Kaleido Blitz. It's a good idea in theory, but pronouncing it, maybe it's not a good idea. But think about it.
Yeah.
That
No,
could be
we have already
interesting.
discussed with him if you want to implement swaps using Kaleidoswap, maybe in the future.
Yesterday, I tried to swap around this, no swap, drop around this idea, and let's see if it takes place. Of course, it's nothing by me. Just like RGB, I'm not involved in the name. Very cool name, RGB, by the way. But let's talk about something else. We are here in Lugano, as always, and I think there are a lot of opportunities and good things coming from Lugano, but you come from Turin, right? And there are great things happening in Turin too. And I like this idea of Torino and Lugano being two posts for Bitcoin. So, and your experience with BitPolito, can you tell us more how the things are going in Torino?
Yeah, for sure. So in Torino, it started, let's say, in 2019, where three guys in the Polytechnic of Turin, were three students, decided to create this Bitcoin student team. They were lucky because they found a professor that was really into Bitcoin. So he helped a lot the guys to organize this Bitcoin student team, and from there basically it completely exploded. So a lot of guys joined the team. For example, I joined the team after I was already graduated because I was in a career on AI field. Basically, was doing AI stuff, computer vision. But then I was interested in Bitcoin, and I was looking for a place where I can talk about Bitcoin, where I can, let's say, work on it. And so I find this Bitcoin student team and said, okay, I want to help on as best as I can. I want to learn more. I want to help other people to learn more. And so thanks to BitPolito, then I went to a lot of conference. They went there to know more let's say more people in conference, and also in Turin, for example, was born at that time as well. Satoshi Spritz. Satoshi Spritz was an idea born in Milan, then in every city around Italy. Most of the cities around Italy now have Satoshi Spritz, and there nowadays is, I think, the biggest Satoshi Spritz in Italy. Every week, like at least 20 to 30 people go to the Satoshi Spritz to talk about Bitcoin. And also now we have a new hub there. So thanks to this movement of BitPolito, Satoshi Spritz, a lot of students, a lot of talent, Fungur Ventures decide to, let's say, open a space there for creating a more, let's say, way for people to work on Bitcoin, to help startups, maybe new startups that can born there for this. So now Turin also have an hub there. So it's, let's say, a new point that we can add. And there is something else that we want to add. There will be a new thing that is the two different things. So one will be an association that will born in Turin. It's called Bitcoin Torino. That is basically a way for people exiting from BitPolito to have a way to help the city to learn more about Bitcoin, because the problem with BitPolito is that in order to be there, in theory, you should be a student. So if you're no more a student, you should find a way to exit from that. So there is an association built from Bitcoiners to help more the cities, and in this way talk more with business. So if you want to accept Bitcoin, there is this association that can help you to accept Bitcoin, teach more about Bitcoin. That is, let's say, outside from BitPolito. And the last thing is that I will soon announce the first BitDevs in Italy. So, and that will happen in Turin and in the hub that will be there. So let's say I will start it. It will be a monthly event in English, but then I will find someone that could, let's say, bring it in the, let's say, in the future, because probably my
I
future
would
is here.
suggest the same, because I know that you are young and you tend to deliver and ship things, but there are many things you are doing. So you can start things and then find somebody else volunteering.
Yeah, just the idea is to start it, let people, let's say, find a place where they can learn more about Bitcoin in a technical way. Also because, all Satoshi Spritz, BitPolito are mostly in Italian.
Yeah.
While in Turin, there are a lot of English students or people talking only in English. So it's a way for them to learn more about Bitcoin. And also we can also, for example, developers, Bitcoin developers, and create a movement also for that in Turin, because my idea and my hope is to find the first Bitcoin core developers, and I hope that will be in Turin. So
Amazing. And I love all the synergies going on between Lugano and Turin. So our block has almost been mined. I have the last question. Guys, it's completely random, not generated by AI. I just put a random question. My mind is a weird place. I don't know why, but I want to ask you, if you have to choose a soundtrack for your journey as Kaleidoswap so far. So soundtrack could be a band, a song, a genre, whatever. Which one would you pick?
okay, that's a difficult question,
I
because
know.
I'm not so into music. I'm more into electronic music.
That's perfect.
So I love, for example, Telovas, that are techno band, let's say. But like soundtrack, one that I like a lot is from a film. It's called let me think.
It's a very difficult question, I know.
Maybe Interstellar. I really like the soundtrack of Interstellar. So I would choose that. It's really calm, melodic, but increase a lot until a while. So yeah.
I think it works for your journey so far. Interesting. So Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And see you soon in Lugano and in Turin and all the things that are going for you and your team. And again, congratulations for being the winner of Cypher Tank.
Thank you very much, Mir. Thank you, Plan B also as well.
Ciao ciao.